Hey DIYers, Jarrett with Alarm Grid here. Today we're going to be discussing the difference between armed away and armed away max mode. Now, armed away mode is normally commonly used because when you put the system in armed away mode, there's what's called an entry delay period. And what an entry delay period is that if you were to fault an entry exit zone, it's the time period that the system gives you to be able to disarm the system before the alarm is set off. Now, if you were to put the system in armed away max mode, it's a bit different than armed away because it doesn't, or it actually completely ignores any entry delay period set that you have for the system. So basically meaning if you were to fault any entry exit zones, be it a front door, back door, patio door, anything that you have set for that, it's going to immediately set off the alarm. Now, normally people use this mode whenever they're out of town or they're on vacation, and they're not expecting any company to come over, whether it be any house sitters or anything like that, and they want to be immediately notified if anything were to happen to the system or any zones were to be tripped or anything like that. Now, if you are using the system into an armed away, or if you are using armed away max, we normally do recommend that you at least have a key fob or Total Connect 2.0 to be able to disarm the system before you go into the home or the building, so that you make sure you're not tripping that alarm and you don't have any type of false alarms or anything like that. Now, there are a couple of systems out there that do not have the option to be able to put the system to an armed away max mode, but there are some settings you can change in the system to be able to enable that option or mimic the armed away max mode. Now, the Honeywell Lyric, for instance, it actually does not have the armed away max mode programmed into it, but we can change the settings to do so or mimic it. Now, really changing the settings for it is just turning off the entry delay period and then putting the system or going into an armed away mode. And that is basically mimicking the settings for armed away max. Now, there's two ways you can go about changing those settings. You can go into the system programming of the panel and completely turn off the entry delay period completely, or you can go into, or there's a more simpler way of doing so, and you can go into the area where you would normally arm the system, and you can turn off the entry delay period right there. So I'm actually going to show you how to change that setting real quick and put the system to an armed away max mode. So if you're looking at the Lyric right now, if you were at this main menu or this main screen, to get to the area where you would arm the system, you would just press security. And as you'll see, you have arm away, arm stay, arm custom, everything, right? If you look at the bottom left, you'll see the option for entry delay. If you just simply tap on that, it'll turn off the entry delay, and you're already mimicking these settings for armed away max. So what you'll do next is just press arm away. You'll type in your master code to arm the system. So as you can see, the system did go into an armed away instant mode, which is basically armed away max. So if I were to fault an entry exit zone whatsoever, it's going to immediately set off the alarm. All right, so right now what we have is a sensor programs an entry exit zone into the Honeywell Lyric system. It is programmed as front door. So what I'm going to be doing real quick is just putting the system to an armed away mode, and we're going to fault the sensor. I'm going to show you the entry delay period that you normally would get with arm away mode. And then I'm going to put the system to an armed away maximum so that I can then fault the sensor, and then you'll see that the alarm will immediately trip. So what we're going to do is go to security, and then to arm away, or to arm the system away, what you're going to do is just tap arm away. You need to type in your master code, which is 1234.
Armed away. Exit now.
I guess I had already
Disarm.
faulted the door contact by accident, but when I did fault the door,
Front door.
when I did fault the door contact, as you can see, it did give you the exit delay period or the entry delay period as you would whenever you would
Front door.
open your front door when the system is in an armed away mode. Now, what we're going to do is to go into the arm maximum mode. As I did explain, we're going to turn off the entry delay, and then we're going to arm the system into an armed away mode.
Armed away. Instant. Exit now. Armed away. Instant.
Okay. So as of right now, the system is in armed away instant mode, and once I fault the sensor, you'll see that the alarm is going to go off immediately.
Disarmed. Not ready to arm. Check zone. Disarmed. Ready to arm. Time.
So as you can see, the alarm did go off immediately when the system is placed into an armed maximum mode. So as you can see, now we have the Honeywell Vista system, and the Honeywell Vista panels actually do have the option to go into an armed away max mode. You don't have to change any of the settings with the entry delay period at all. You already have that programmed to the system. So to put your Vista system to an armed away max mode, you're just going to type in the master code followed by the number 4. So now, as you can see, we have the keypad up and going right here. So what I'm actually going to do is put the system into an armed away mode first so that you can see exactly what that sounds like and everything. And then I'm going to put the system in armed away max mode, and you'll see the difference between the two. So to put the system in armed away mode, you're just going to type in the master code followed by the number 2.
Away. Exit now.
So I can see right now it just says
Ready to arm.
that the system is into an armed away, and obviously the exit now. So now I'm going to put the system in armed away max mode, and you will see, or you will see and hear the difference between the two.
Armed away. Instant. Exit now. Disarmed. Ready to arm.
Okay, so as you can see, the Honeywell Vista system was able to go into an armed away max mode. It did say armed away instance, and you also were able to see the entry or the exit delay as well. So if you were to be putting the system into an armed away max mode, you don't have to worry about that. You will have time to be able to leave the building. So that is the difference between armed away and armed away max. If you have any questions about arming the alarm system or alarm systems in general, please contact us at support@alarmgrid.com or go to our website, alarmgrid.com. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. If you want notifications of future videos, please click the bell icon. This is Jarrett with Alarm Grid. You have yourself a great day.